Boom.
Biddly, 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 bo. Yes, yes, yo. Here we go. Ain't nobody down round here. Clout Chaser's in. The Badger's sneaking in. She's on the move, but we'll still got time to get that Badger more in and on and over here. He's in, he's on, he's over, he's here. Shout out to the Badger, shout out to everybody, shout out to all my new subscribers, shout out to all my old subscribers, shout out to all my members, shout out to every motherfucker. My track's below. Click the link, yo, let's go. So, quick shit vid. Went on Just Joe's show yesterday. Was good. Very good. Yes, very good. Lockie mentioned something about being a little bit nastier in the game. So, just in general, I think also, but particularly in the game on Saturday, which has left me pondering quite considerably over that statement, due to the fact I think it is pretty good. So it was sort of referencing a bit more shithousery, like, you know, when we had Click, Alioski, Ailing, everybody had sort of like, you know, backed the players up a little bit. Ampadu tried to do that on Saturday. I do think Ampadu is that character where, you know, he's always on at ref and he's always in and on and over and about it, but, you know, it doesn't help when he goes flying into tackle and he sort of comes off second best to it. Lockie mentioned that the Burnley players, you know, like Hannibal and stuff, they were really enjoying the atmosphere. Elland Road is the lion's den, isn't it? And then it's like, you know, players do rise to it. I still think it's a 60-minute thing in most games where teams really come, they start to upset a little bit, they nick a goal, and then it's like the momentum starts to garner, and then they think that they're proper at it. And I think, really, to be honest, people have a go at footballers' egos and stuff, but it's a bit of an ego thing, isn't it? That Hannibal's obviously come from Scum, and then he's at Burnley, wants to make a show of himself, you know, wants to prove himself. He's obviously a decent player, of that there's no doubt, but, you know, it's like, you know, I think that's where a bit of shithousery comes, just a bit of an ego thing as well, like, just a bit like, well, I don't care what you think, it's about winning the game, isn't it? And I do think it does help, it does rally the crowd. Are we too nice? Meslier Silent S left one in on there, I think it was their striker, he absolutely annihilated him. Ampadu tried to annihilate, I think it was Hannibal. Are we too nice? Rodon's not particularly like a filthy centre-back. Struik's not a dirty centre-back. Firpo's a Barcelona player, really, isn't he? Bogle, I don't even think is fit enough to make a tackle. Gruev breaks stuff up, beats stuff down, but seems like just a nice sort of centre mid. Nonto's a bit shithousery in a sense that he's always moaning, but it's not necessarily, I don't think that's what Lockie's necessarily getting at. I think there's more, he's on about more, you know, well, a bit of nastiness really, shithousery, winding people up, getting stuck in. Then, you know, if somebody goes in on someone, there's another player to back it up, and you've got to shut it down pretty quickly. I do think he's got a point. Joseph, again, gets about enough. Aronson definitely don't have that nasty streak. Solomon might have. I mean, he's technically probably the best player at the club, I would argue. He might have that streak, but might not really need to use it. We'll see, you know. But there's times it's players like Solomon that you need to sort of back up in general. So even Aronson, Nonto, any sort of forward player, you want then your enforcers to come in, don't you? Your Roy Keanes at World and sort it out. I think that's a good point, and I think when the chips are down, then you do look to stuff like that. And we are lacking that somewhat. It's fucking old guard. If we've got old guard backing, you know, Cooper didn't mind a tackle. Alioski were a wind-up merchant. Ailing were all about it. Click loved it. We can get them back in, man. A lot of talk about the ground not being a great atmosphere, and everybody's really banging on about that, and that is garnering some way. We were talking about it yesterday. It's an expectation thing, I do believe. I don't think it's just that we expect to win. It's an expectation that it's a worry that if we're not winning, we're not going up, and everybody's aware that it's a bit shit or bust to go up this year. If we don't go up this year, it's, you know, ding dang dooley-ang, isn't it? It's getting a bit panicky up there because, you know, we've got the biggest wage bill, Kinnear reckons, borderline in the history of the Championship. So if we're not getting if we're not going up, if we're not progressing, there will be some massive cuts, massive changes to be made. I think it just gets too hostile too quickly for me. I don't think there's all wrong with the atmosphere at Elland Road. I mean, there was a long patch when I wasn't going, so I can't attest to the League One days and the stuff like that, But I've been a lot in the past few years, and I don't know. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of panic in ground, and also as the crowds get much bigger, because we are, filling it out all the time. Which again, if we stay in the Championship, won't last forever. I know everybody thinks that it will, but it really won't. The crowds do diminish over time, and I think people become disenfranchised with it. I know when me and my dad had a season ticket for years, and then my older brother had it, and then we had it. My older brother had it with my dad, and then my older brother went and got a season ticket over the other side at ground with his mate, and then I took my brother's seat. And that was, it was hard to get season tickets at that point because we're in Champions League. But then as we started to sell players, a lot of people did come disenfranchised. My dad sort of resented paying money when we were just shipping all players out and stuff, and so that sort of stopped a long-standing season ticket that we had. So it's, you got to know when to say when. Even just being at work, this sounds insane, but you're sort of rushing around like a maniac, and then you're getting up for the game, and then it's like, right, get there, and you're spending your money, and it's like, you do start to prioritise things slightly. Don't change the love for Leeds or the love for the game or whatever. But I don't know, for a lot of people there comes a time where it's just like, I'm running around like a blue-ass tit fly here, and the players are not even up for it when you get to the game. And that's not what happened on Saturday, by the way, I simply must add. But it does, that's where the fans' frustration comes from, I do believe. West Brom, obviously, it's good that we've got they're the best team in the world now, according to Twitter, and Corberan is the man, and everybody's been on about Corberan forever. And I was happy to see that Joe was still on Farke's side, because I know how much he does love a bit of Corberan. But yeah, and everybody goes on, he does it on a shoestring budget. That's what I look, and they will run away with it this year. And believe me, they will not. They might make the playoffs. They will not go up automatic. I'm sick of this Corberan nonsense. I still think Farke's got the job. He will be absolutely fine. We'll be balling come Christmas. We'll be like singing, every single freaking jingle bell going. So let's see. I think we've been a bit harsh on the side in general. We are, on that note, going to lose some games, and we wasn't terrible on Saturday. I didn't enjoy the second half. I sort of forgot about the first half due to the second half, because I felt like we were never going to create anything. And that last sort of 10 minutes, there was no, somebody mentioned to me today that, Ipswich were like throwing kitchen sink at everything every time they went forward in last 10 minutes or whatever. But I don't really know if you want that necessarily. Ipswich, whether you like it or not, did ride the luck a lot last year, which is absolutely fine. They're the ones that went up. We got the 90-point trophy that I'm holding on to. But, they were chasing the games a lot. We don't want that all season. So I do think Farke will get a reaction out of him come Saturday as well for Cardiff. He does have a past with that. He did it a lot last year, apart from, sort of towards the end of the season when it did sort of dry up in general. Jamie O'Hara's been having a go at all Tottenham signings. He's always quite hyperbolic, into Jamie O'Hara. I go through patches. I've seen him on Soccer AM, and the bloke does have a tremendous left foot, of that there's no doubt. But I think in terms of, his punditry, I just think he just goes off on one for the sake of it. But he didn't really mention Gray, to be fair. He was just on about that we've got him from, got Gray from a Championship side for a lot of money. Like, is that a good signing? He mentioned that new winger, that Bradley, said he's decent. Solanke, not got a goal yet. I think he's just moaning in general. But got me thinking about how Gray's going to get on. What do you actually reckon? He ain't from the club, is he? So obviously he's from Leeds. So we'd seen him in training and everything, and then we gave him a chance, probably knowing that we could sell him for a significant money. I know he warranted his position last year in the team, but we did sort of shoehorn him in at right back. And is it just to actually put him on the market and try and make loads of money, because it's all profit, isn't it? When a youngster comes through the club, it's like that. There's no with PSR and FFP and all that stuff. It's just pure profit. So they don't take into account all fucking school dinners you've had to buy him, do they? But, is he going to play? He isn't from the club. They've got him into training. He probably looks decent in training, but it's a totally different level, isn't it, as we all know. Is Postecoglou struggling? And then if he is struggling, is he going to get Gray into the side? There's talks about Harry Gray potentially going to Tottenham. He hasn't even got near our side yet. Again, I do think youngsters need to have a balance between being guaranteed some game time and being patient about getting some game time. So Gray's now at a new phase where he's got to be patient about getting game time, because if he makes a move from Tottenham now without having a lot of game time, he might potentially be able to come back to Leeds. But for you know, I'm saying that as a Championship club at the moment. But if he was to drop down again, you know, where's he go for 40 million? He's potentially just going to be sat on the bench for a long time. And, you know, you're only young once, mate. It does go pretty quick. So I think Harry Gray will do himself a favour by not going. I know he probably wants to follow his brother to some extent, but I think he'll eventually get game time from us due to the fact it's all profit, baby. It's all Bunsen burner for the club. And if we can get him into the side in the next couple of years, again, if we get promoted or when we get promoted, Premier League stuff, is Harry Gray going to be an 18-year-old in the Premier League for Leeds United? It's huge stuff. If we were still in the Premier League and Gray, would he have been playing last year for us at right back or centre mid? We couldn't get in centre mid over Kamara and Ampadu and Gruev last year. So could he got in at right back? Would he get in at right back if we're in Premier League? Or is Farky Flucky Fucker a bit more panicky about, you know, giving somebody all them minutes? I thought Gray was excellent. It's not a diss of Gray. Same with Summerville. He's started once for West Ham in Carabao Cup. He's had 140 minutes in all competitions. Is that going to go well for him? I think I called it from the start with Summerville. West Ham's a tough club to go and make it at. And we need to remember that we drew with the best team in the world, West Brom. And we drew to the best manager in the world, Carlos Corberán. I need to just make a statement. I don't particularly like Bruno Mars's music. There's a couple of his songs that I really like. But anybody that thinks Bruno Mars isn't talented is a maniac. That's one thing I can say with sheer delight and safe in the knowledge that I'm in the know. Bruno Mars is a talented dude.
Boom.
Biddly, 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 biddly. Oh. Biddly, 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 bo. Yes, yes, yo. Here we go. Got something in my mouth. It's a hair. My delight, Shepherd's delight, brown sky at night, red sky at night, whatever it is. You know, nobody do it how he does it. Oh, fuck's sake.
Boom.
JackCity, bitch. JackCity, bitch. Hey!
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is. Don't wanna ever feel surprised. That's why I ask no.